Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Mount Tammany Ridge channel. It is Saturday morning. It's about 7:45, 8 o'clock, somewhere in there. Kind of lost track over the past half hour or so. So just chilling in the garage this morning. I won't be doing much today. I have to go to a funeral ceremony a little bit later on, around noon time. I got to be there, so I just figured while the temperature was reasonable, I'd come out here, hang out with you guys for a little bit. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy. Enough of all that. So swung by Harbor Freight last night, and I've been wanting to get one of these things here for the garage for a very long time. And I guess it's got it on both sides. So got a shop stool. It's adjustable, and yeah, I was really wanting one of these for a long time. I hope the quality of it, is enough to last me for years to come. We will have to see. But enough of that. Let's open the box, see what it actually looks like. At least in pieces at this point. I don't know how far I'm going to get into it with assembly. If it turns out, super easy, which I imagine it will be, I should be able to throw it together pretty quickly. However, if there's missing parts or anything like that, obviously that's going to put a damper on overall success of putting it together. But I'm gonna pull out the old Paquito knife over here, and we're gonna open this thing up and see if all the parts are even there. I imagine they are. I haven't really had any bad luck per se with that Harbor Freight stuff. Almost, I want to say probably everything that I bought from Harbor Freight has at least has been complete when I took it out of the package. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I keep trying to put it back in the sheath the wrong way or something. I apologize for the noise of the lawnmower in the background. I might, unfortunately, have to shut the door, because these are just noises that we have going on here. For as noisy as I am as a person, I don't think I make quite enough noise to compete with it. Okay, so let's try this again. I had to help Mom get some coolant in the mower, and got her on her way so I could shut the door. She's mowing the front yard and the backyard at the moment. I don't know about you guys, but boy, we've had a heck of a hard time with there being a shortage of rainfall. I know we're not the only ones on the continent having that same problem. Depending on where you are, you may or may not be experiencing that. So, but yeah, we actually haven't mowed our lawn here in about 3 weeks, and that's rare, because we mow our pastures. I think we usually do them about every 2 weeks, depending on how much it's growing. But I think the pastures are like every 2 weeks, and then the lawn obviously is every week. Whether or not it's growing fast, but yeah, it hasn't been growing fast at all. So it's taken quite a bit of time for the grass to have grown to where we feel it's necessary to cut. So it's almost nice to hear the mower, to be honest. Smell that fresh grass getting cut, and getting all of our allergies in an uproar. It's wonderful. So I guess that's the first ring here. Let's see. garbage, put that in with the instructions. And I don't know, I was kind of torn. It's like a big red button. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go with all black or red. They had a couple other colors. I think one was green, and the other one was, forget what the other color, it might have been blue, might have been a blue color, a shade of blue. Probably a pretty bright blue, but I don't know, it wasn't really tickling my fancy, so to speak, so wasn't really digging it. So initially I reached for the black, and you know, Teresa had said to me, gee, you know, you think maybe you might want to get the red? And I was like, well, why would you think, you know, the red would be better than the black? And she goes, well, she says, you are sort of kind of getting it because of the chain sharpener for the chainsaw chains. And she said there's red on that. And of course I stopped and thought about it, and I was like, you know, you might be onto something. Let's go with the red. So here we are. We got the red, and we'll see how this all goes. Now I'm assuming this is the backrest, which is oh, I see. Okay, so the buttons, quick release buttons, go underneath, I believe. Yeah. So the cool thing about this stool, right, is the backrest comes off. So if the backrest seems to kind of like put your butt too far to the front edge of the seat, that might happen with me because I'm a bigger guy. I can pop the backrest off and then just use the stool itself, which is convenient. Now let's see what other kind of I'd stopped putting my knife back in the pouch, but I don't really have a whole lot of places to put it. Probably could have set up a little bit closer to the workbench, but it's starting to get a little crowded over there right now. We got a few things over there in that space that we're on and off of as far as working on it. So let's see, that looks like that's our gas cylinder. So if I remember correctly, this thing's got a load limit or a weight limit of I think it's 275 pounds. Fortunately, I just make the weight limit. I would have been even closer, but in the past year from working at the lumber yard, I've lost about 30 pounds. So I'm about 35 pounds to the good. So, all right, so we'll put that down. And I am going to look at the instructions a little bit. I don't know if they're good or not, but I won't put you guys through that. I'm gonna take a look. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, heck, even looking at the picture on the side of the box, kind of indicating to me what goes where. And there's all one-sided bolts, but let me just take a look at these instructions and gather up some tool wrench sizes, and we'll bring you right back. All right, so here we are. So I got frustrated trying to open the package for the instructions for some stupid reason. It didn't matter how fast I pulled on it or how I tried to tear it. It annoyed me enough to where I didn't even get to the point where I grabbed my pocket knife. I just casted it to the side. But upon further inspection, it had become pretty clear to me, you know, what goes where and why and all that. So we have 4 bolts here with an Allen head on it. Now the size I'm using is an 8mm. So we got 4 of those, and those are going to be for the very top of the stool. there's 4 bolts that are going to hold the, I guess the retainer for the gas strut that allows the stool to adjust up and down. And it looks like that just sits in there just by gravity. So going to start with those components. Now, initially, that might not sound like a great idea, but my thought process is if I can get all 4 legs connected by this top collar, I can then stand it up. And then after that, I can slide the next 2 rings here down onto the base and line up the holes, in theory, with ease. So it might be a little hilarious to watch me get this collar put together here. Just give me 1 second. I just realized that I went over there to get the Phillips head screwdriver, but I never actually got it. Well, now that I'm back over here, I think I remember why I never actually got it, because it wasn't there. It's because there's more than just me around here looking for Phillips head screwdrivers, I'm sure. So, behind door number 1, there we are. There's 1 in there anyway. If you're in a situation where you either live at home on the farm and you've got multiple people, you know, rummaging through tools and using them, if you really get sick and tired of not being able to find it, or chasing it around the farm or your property, wherever it may be, kid could be leaving it out in the yard and you're chopping them up with the mower. If you really get tired of it, just, I don't know, stack things in front of the toolbox, put all the tools in there where they're supposed to be, and make it so annoying to get to that they're just not going to be ambitious enough to bother with it. Slipped in and out of here. So it looks like the way it actually works is these buttons that clip in case you guys haven't seen it yet. So I'm sure you guys are used to seeing things like this with your tent pole. Pushes the button in and it slides on in there, and so, I mean, it's not the best. I mean, it's not like super solid and firm, but a little jiggly. But again, it's not holding your weight per se. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily suggest being well over 200 pounds and leaning back on it to secure you. Definitely. Maybe that would not be advisable. Like I said, I'm 230 pounds. certain that I would not rely on that to just hold me. So what is cool, right? You can move this backward and forward and bring it up tight. You can slide it back out. You know, like remember what I was saying earlier on is that if you're somebody who's a bigger guy like me, I got a little bit more front to back beef than a lot of guys. So I imagine this could actually be pretty cool. But again, I don't think I would emphasize my weight on the backrest like a computer chair and just kind of just lean back on it and chill. But I think, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's there. It's not, doesn't feel like it's gonna bail out on you, you know. So if you wanted to just kind of roll your butt cheeks back and, you know, rest your lower back on there just a little bit, you know, yeah, it's not too bad. And it looks like it's gonna be just the right height for the chain sharpener. All right, well, here we are. Got the stool all put together, and so far, you know, initial impressions is nice and easy to put together. It wasn't crazy expensive, and it works perfect so far for what I'm looking to do with it. And yeah, like I said, it's not a sponsored video or anything. I don't know them anything, they don't know me anything. However, whenever I, you know, buy something from a place like Harbor Freight, you know, I know that they sometimes have a bad rap for, you know, some of the stuff that they sell there. But there are times when you get something that, I don't know, it just, there's nothing wrong with it. You can't really kick at it or, you know, say anything negative about it. So this is, I feel like it's kind of one of those things, you know. It's not meant to be a super comfortable seat. It's just meant to be something to rest your feet for a little bit while you're out here doing your thing. But yeah, just an option, you know. I see a lot of guys, you know, they use, you know, the classic bar stool, you know, where they got the swivel top and the flames on it and things like that. And I was gonna go that route, I almost did. But when I had looked at the measurement for the seat height, I felt it was gonna be a little bit lower than something I'd be looking for to be operating this chain sharpener. So when I saw this one, I was actually concerned it was gonna be too high. But now, you know, dropping the strut all the way down, works out perfect. Couldn't be happier with that. So, anywho, if you guys like anything you see here on the Mount Tammany Ridge channel, hit me up in that comment section down below. Let me know what you think. And occasionally, you know, I'll show you something I get from Harbor Freight. If it's something I think is pretty cool. A while back, I did a little bit. I got a LED work light there that clamps under the hood of the car in the truck. So far, that thing's actually come in quite handy several times. Very happy to have it. Seems to be well made. Also, I've got another LED light that's magnetic, and it, you know, it's double jointed and it spins around, and you know, it's really nice, super bright. Done a couple different brightness settings, and there was a couple other things I got too. I talked about them in an earlier video. So, but other than that, again, thanks for hanging out with me here in the Mount Tammany Ridge channel. It's just a morning little project to do before like I said, before I go out for the afternoon. And you guys have yourselves a good evening. If you could, like, comment, subscribe, share with some of your friends who might be interested. And yeah, get out there and get it done.